Oil refineries, the life support machines for our road transport system, the fuel in our vehicles, the surface on our roads, the plastic components in our cars, the energy for our steel and component producers, and so much, much more. Small wonder it is called the lifeblood of nations. The processes within our refinery and associated chemical plants operate at both very high temperatures, often higher than 500 degrees centigrade, or at very low temperatures, even below -80 degrees centigrade. And here, through these pipes, the arteries and veins of the plant, products at these kind of temperatures flow. And in vessels like this cat cracker, reactions at super temperatures take place. That is why refineries need insulation. And because no one can escape the vagaries of our climate, the insulation itself needs protection. Protection of steel that is super corrosion resistant, Alu-Zinc and Petrochem Alu-Zinc. Petrochem Alu-Zinc, the most cost-effective, safe, corrosion-resistant metal jacketing that you can use to protect your insulated pipes, vessels and tanks. A very big claim, you may say. Let's look at facts. For the last 8 years, we have supplied Alu-Zinc, or Petrochem Alu-Zinc, to almost all of the UK's major petrochemical companies. Each and every one of them continues to specify its use. Some are so delighted with its performance they have allowed us to use their logos in our advertising. Why are these companies so pleased with Petrochem Alu-Zinc? First, since 1981, not one company has had to replace Petrochem Alu-Zinc owing to corrosion anywhere in normal use on their plants. Also, since 1981, not 1 square metre of Alu-Zinc has had to be painted. Remember how galvanized steel had to be painted? Or did you just have to watch it going rusty after a couple of years? Petrochem Alu-Zinc is steel-based. It resists mechanical damage. Look at this aluminium lagging. Even at high level it is damaged. And in both cases the engineer has replaced below with Petrochem Alu-Zinc. And here at low level in a tank farm in Holland, the aluminium is useless at protecting the insulation. And again the engineer is replacing with Petrochem Alu-Zinc. So what is this product, Petrochem Alu-Zinc? And why is it so good for petrochemical insulation protection? First and foremost, it is steel. Steel that has a super corrosion resistant coating. This alloy coating consists of 55% aluminium, 43% zinc by weight, and is applied by the hot dip process in the steel works of Swedish Steel in Domnarvet, central Sweden. And as everyone knows, Swedish Steel means quality steel. Here we see coils of Alu-Zinc at the end of the production line, ready for packing and dispatch to over 30 countries worldwide. Coils such as these will be further processed in the UK with a Petrochem rib profile to give thin sheet the strength and flexural rigidity of flat sheet up to 40% thicker. It is this profile that makes Petrochem so cost effective for your plant. You can use thinner sheet at less cost. But why a coating of aluminium and zinc? The prime reason is the combined corrosion resistant properties of aluminium and zinc. Aluminium alone is a good protector of steel, but when you add the galvanic protection of the zinc at cut edges and fabricated vents, Petrochem has no real commercial competitor. Let's look at some severe marine tests conducted in conjunction with the Central Electricity Generating Board. Here at Dungeness is one of the UK's nuclear power stations. On the plant is the UK's top severe marine test site. With the Dungeness Peninsula surrounded on 3 sides, nowhere could be worse for natural salt spray testing. This Alu-Zinc sheet was placed here in 1981. Not one edge or corner shows any sign of rust. And here again, where a hacksaw cut was made in 1983, there is no sign of rust. This is just part of the evidence that leads us to suggest that Petrochemical zinc will last at least 20 years on your plant before you see any sign of red rust, and allows the central electricity generating board to accept alu-zinc in place of galvanized steel for insulation protection. The Petrochemical zinc dispatched to your insulation contractor is a versatile material. He can take it in cut sheet, or as here at this Dutch insulation contractor, he can take small coils and cut to the precise length he needs. The stiffening rib presents no fabrication problems to the skilled sheet metal worker. Here we see many fabrication operations: marking out, drilling, nibbling, rolling, fixing, swaging, and lock forming. Yes, even coolie hats with their 180-degree bends are no problem for Petrochemical zinc. And all these fabrications have been made using standard insulation metal shop machinery. Petrochem can even turn your fabricator into a magician. Well, almost. But for this cheeky chappie, even a bend of this size was easily made in Petrochem. Refineries and chemical plants are often built in necessity on estuaries or coastal locations, which means that as well as intrinsic corrosion problems, they also have to cope with saltwater corrosion. Here on the North Humber Bank and here on the South Humber Bank, these plants are today specifying Petrochemical zinc, and the same is true whether you look at the Mersey, Forth, Thames or Test estuaries. In Holland also, petrochemical companies are beginning to turn to Petrochemical zinc. In the area around Europort, there is an enormous concentration of petrochemical plants and storage facilities. Dutch companies are turning away from aluminium. They are concerned about its fire risk potential and its poor mechanical damage properties. These companies have all used Petrochemical zinc on their continental plants, and they are right to be concerned about aluminium. In a hydrocarbon fire situation, the temperature reaches 660 degrees centigrade, the melting point of aluminium, within 3 minutes. What protection then for the insulation? And what a risk to firefighters with molten aluminium raining down upon them. And who hasn't seen this happen many times a day? What protection is this for insulation? None at all. It simply means water ingress and a constant corrosion cell around the carrier pipe.
Hey zeg, niet over de isolatie lopen.
Waarom niet?
Look what a major petrochemical company found under damaged aluminium jacketing. Today, they use Petrochem throughout their UK plants. For insulation protection, Petrochemical zinc gives a very long, predictable life, probably the life of your plant. It has a pleasant aluminium type appearance. It's a product that with the strength of steel resists mechanical damage or the big foot syndrome. Petrochem has an excellent emissivity figure and a quality performance backed by Swedish Steel AB. Petrochemical zinc will be supplied to your insulation contractor, backed by a quality assurance certificate compatible with ISO 9000. It all sounds too good to be true. Has the product any drawbacks? The short answer is no. Our customers can be absolutely confident that Petrochemical zinc really is the most cost-effective, safe, corrosion-resistant metal jacketing available, and all these companies today are using Swedish Steel's Aluzinc in one of its forms. Petrochem Aluzinc for piping and vessels, flat Aluzinc for valve boxes and tank roofs, corrugated or box profile Aluzinc for tank side cladding, banding or strapping for pipework. And they will probably use Petrochem Clad, a deeper version of the Petrochem profile for vertical cladding of vessels and tanks. Ask yourself the question, shouldn't I at least be trying this product also?